Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you all. We are pre-recording today, so we're so excited to be able to share this experience with you, as always. Welcome to Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. Teresa was not able to join us today, so it's just Rhonda and I, but we're very excited to share our guest, Mark Hernandez, with you. Please take time to share this out, invite your friends, and we look forward to seeing where Mark's going to take us on this adventure of people and animal energetics today. Rhonda, can you introduce our guest, please?
Sure. You may have seen him on the Akashic Academy Network, Mark Hernandez, the People and Pet Energetics. He takes that connection of people and pets, their connection, and takes it a step further in their healing journey. He not only heals pets through all his modalities, but he also helps their owners and how there's that connection between the owners and people. But we'll let him speak to you, and we're going to let him introduce himself and tell you all about his journey and how he's got here. Thank you, Mark, for joining us today.
Yeah, well, thanks you and to Bex and you for having me. It's great to be with you and your community. So I'm going to introduce myself. So I am Mark Hernandez, owner and founder of People and Pets Energetics. I'm an intuitive energy healer that helps people, animals, and their places when they've hit the wall with health and well-being issues. I have intuitive gifts and extensive training to read subtle energy fields and identify and release the non-beneficial energies that are keeping them stuck. So on the people end, the people that commonly pick up the phone and call me, they have some long-standing, mysterious physical pain, quote-unquote physical pain, back pain, knee pain, hip pain. They've already been to their Western medical doctors, gotten all their tests run. They've maybe done some alternative chiropractic care, acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine. Maybe they've done some energy work, Reiki or something else. And it's always like to say, everything works till it doesn't work, whatever it is. So they've been through 95% of the low-hanging fruit that genuinely helps most people, and they're stuck and in pain. For the animals, I help animals in two main categories. Category one, you have a dog or cat, it's experiencing a change in behavior, such as peeing and pooing in the household, separation anxiety, excessive barking, and more. Category two, pet parents have taken the pet to the vet discovers something going on, maybe like a growth, tumor, digestive issues. I can provide a layer of energetic support. So my work with these animals is something you do in addition to excellent veterinary care. And the last area I work on are places. I do remote space clearings. You know, we've probably all been in places, stadiums, churches, schools, where we walk in, or a house, we know we just want to run out. I can see energetically what's going on with the place, clear it out so there's more balance, flow, and harmony. All my work is non-invasive, safe, gentle, yields results, at times immediately, and in other instances over time. And I do 100% of my consultations by phone or video technology. So that's kind of who I am and what I do in a nutshell.
Wow.
Wow, Mark, that's quite impressive. Mark, how did you know you could do this? Like, when did you realize, like, hey, I have this gift, I have this ability?
Yeah. Well, kind of looking back on my life, I think, like many of us growing up here in the U.S., you know, we all have intuitive abilities. And I remember even as a child, when I was 2, my mom, she didn't have a very strong sense of direction, which way to go. At 2, she would ask me, which way do I go? I would point, and I was always right, she'd tell me.
Wow.
Age 5, 5 or 6, here in the U.S., like in the late 60s, early 70s, there was this kind of like soap opera of vampires called Dark Shadows. I don't know if any of your viewers remember that show. Anyway, it used to come on down here in Texas at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I would be outside playing, and I always just intuitively knew it was 3 o'clock and to go in for Dark Shadows. I just knew. So I've always had like a sense of time. So I've had intuitive abilities. And I would say probably what I'm doing now really came online fully starting in about 2007. At the time, my first professional career, I have a PhD in Hispanic studies and taught at the college level for 20 plus years about Latin America, Latino, United States. And I was running into some unusual things going on in my professional life. Things that just made no logical sense. 2007, picked up the phone, called my brother. He's a doctor of integrative medicine, integrative medical doc, and much more. Told him what was going on. He suggested I work with an energy healer. Again, 2007, I was living in Boston. I was working with an energy healer in New Mexico over the phone, 2 1-hour sessions. And as I like to say, when that frozen needle on the dial started to wiggle, when nothing had changed, that got my attention. So pretty stubborn, thought I could turn around those professional patterns in my academic life, and not meant to be. And so a couple of years later, picked up my phone, talked to my brother, said, hey, I want to learn that energy thing. Because as you know, and your listeners, we all come in this lifetime with baseline abilities, do the type of work I do. And I discovered that I was given extra helpings coming down through the cafeteria line, and they were meant to come on and online later in life. So 2009, started training, certifications, and that's how I got going with people.
Wow. What an amazing story. Very cool.
And how did you connect it to pets? How did that pets thing go?
So the pets has a very specific story. So 2011, 2013, I was living and working in Taiwan, in Taipei, the capital. And during the day, I was teaching Spanish at an international high school. In the evening, doing my own trainings and certification, including a program called the Emotion Code. So for that certification program, the last piece is a practicum that asks that all people work with at least 25 people and 5 animals. Okay, living and working in Taiwan, I wasn't fluent in Mandarin then, and still am not. So I ran into some issues finding volunteer clients for my sessions. Anyway, so I was stuck. I had hit the wall, stuck for 2 months. So one fateful Saturday afternoon, a local Taiwanese friend called and said, Mark, do you want to go ice skating? I said, ice skating? I'm really bad at it. I haven't been in about 30 years, but I'll go. So spur of the moment, I went. In the ice skating rink in downtown Taipei was this business called the Catso, the Cat Hotel. We're on the way to the rink. We saw these cats in this window, and I just knew intuitively to ring the bell. They let us in. I told the owner was there. I told her what I was doing, certification program. My ask was, can you refer me to an English-speaking animal shelter, expat shelter in the capital where I can work with the animals, helps the animals, and helps me for my certification. Well, it turns out, she goes, oh, I'm very interested in what you're doing. I have friends that are very interested in what you're doing. You know what? I'll book all your sessions. You can do them all here at the Cat Hotel, and I'll be your translator. I said, what? So in that lickety split of a second, over the next 3 weeks, I started working with 25 animals at the Cat Hotel cat hotel in downtown Taipei. And that's how I got started with animals. So I said, when I get back to the US, animals are going to be an integral part of my practice.
Yeah,
wow,
because there's such a very cool. I really love that story, and there are no coincidences, are there, Mark?
No.
I gotta go ice skating.
I mean, total quote unquote spur of the moment, and that was my rendezvous with the divine plan.
That's the real cat's meow, as you'd say.
Yeah.
But sorry, I can't. Yeah, I love cats. So you do cats and dogs and all pets. Did you see immediately that there was a connection between pets and their pet owners, and the problems that the pet might be having might be a reflection of the owner, or how did you
well, initially, when my initial consultations, when I was at the cat hotel, doing those first round of sessions back in 2012. Yeah. Initially, like, I do a session, and 95% of the session was connected to the animals. Either it was their own stuff, because we know animals are on their own journeys, but also they had absorbed some of the energies of the household. So 95% of a session was healing for the animal, 5% for the human, usually one of the pet parents. As in the last 6 months now, it's pretty common for a quote unquote pet session. I'm doing 70% healing directly for the animal, 30% healing on the human. Okay. And lately, especially in the last 6 months, the animals, the term I'm using is the animals are serving as pointers. They're letting me know, before I can get better, you need to heal my pet parent. Pet parents there said, can I do some healing work with you? They'll go, oh yeah, that's great. That's like a little bonus. I thought I was just going to help my animal.
Right.
So yeah, that's becoming more common. And, like,
do you think that's because of COVID? We're spending more time with our animals
too. Yeah. Are they getting tired of us being home all the time?
Oh, great question. I think as we know, each animal is unique, has his or her own personality and soul journey. I think, some animals, as some people around the world are starting, go back to work, the animals are missing them. But probably for others that were maybe cats that are used to being more independent on their own, they kind of like it. Maybe it's going to be unique for each animal.
Nice to see you come. Nice to see you go. That's the cats, right?
Yeah.
I got my space back. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. That's so. What are the common some of the common examples you can show us, or like explain to us some common examples that you see occurring time after time with animals connected to their humans? I'm just wondering if there's some common.
So let me give you an example. This is obviously pre-COVID days. I was at a holistic fair in Wisconsin, and I remember a woman came, and she didn't physically have her animal, but she says, my cat needs help, has digestive issues and skin issues. I said, okay. And so I was doing a session for the animal, and basically the animal had taken on all the issues of the pet.
Wow.
So, and I mean, this was pretty extreme. In this case, it was like 95% of the cat's imbalances, the issues, quote unquote, health issues, were connected to absorbing the energies from the pet parent, from the woman. So I said, and she started crying. I said, I can work with your animal, and are you open to getting some direct help too? Your animal's asking that you get some help. And she said yes. So that's, one example. Of what the animals, so I've seen them take on, quote unquote, dis-ease or illnesses of the pet parent. And I've also just seen them taking on a lot of absorption of the, household stress, fighting, that type of stuff, of, the energetics of the household. Or sometimes, people introduce a new pet into the household, and the dynamics get wonky. The older pet feels left out or something. So it's going to be unique for each situation.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Very nice. You have that going on in your house. Hey, Bex, you had new cats coming in.
I do. I have. Yeah, I just got a new kitten a couple of months ago, but she seems to have blended really well with the other two cats, and that's been really nice. But I did what you were talking about with a cat absorbing. I had a cat, Fat Joey, that showed up in our lives right before we went through a really big trauma. And I had learned to read the Akashic records right after that, and had to read the records for him, and found out that that was part of his mission, was to show up in families right before they experienced trauma. And he was very overweight. But he was able to kind of transmute a lot of that grief and pain and suffering in being around us all the time and everything. And then he passed away, unfortunately, in December. But that was his role, was to show up and help us be able to get through that time. And it was beautiful.
Yeah. And something else I see that I'm going to mention, again, it's not as common, but it does come up from time to time, is the pets serving as a proxy. They're doing healing work, often on behalf of another human or sometimes another animal. So I remember there was this case of a dog, a Yorkie, that basically the issue had been the dog had been barking incessantly for 7 years. So I did a session, I could tell we're on Zoom and the dog was changing, looking around, and it felt good. So I said, give it a couple of days to see where you're at. Get a email the next day. Nope. Everything's the same. I said, that's interesting. So consulted with some fellow healers. I said, animals usually change pretty quickly. Tune back in, and the animal was proxying. It was the dog of a woman. It was proxying for her ex-partner. They'd gotten divorced 7 years earlier, but doing healing work. So I said, before the dog can get better, she had contact with her ex, permission to work directly on him. And then also I had permission from God, Source, Creator, and the archangels to break the contract. So no longer doing that work.
Do you work with Ariel a lot? I was going to ask, we were talking to Prashni, and she says Ariel has a big connection with our pets and nature. I just was wondering if you have a strong connection to Ariel as well, Archangel Ariel.
It usually comes in. It varies from pet to pet. It's really Gabriel, Raphael come in quite strong for me. But, and also I work with other light beings that, help the animal transform and transmute the energy. Yeah.
Do you ever see the animals looking around at the beings that are showing up? And you're
often, sometimes when I'm doing healing, especially cats over dogs, they see the beings. Usually I'm doing a session for a person, and the person has like a ghost hanging around them.
Right.
And I say, and I'll get an image of the animal. Like I said, do you see your animal kind of like staring at blank space and really looking intently? Like, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're seeing the ghost that's hanging around.
And that's when you come in with the house clearing, right?
It's usually like the house clearings come in more, like the examples I give people are like they've had like 10 electronics or electrical things give out in a 3-week period. Car breaks down, just kind of weird stuff. Usually removing the ghosts, sending them to the light is usually just part of a standard session I'll do for a person or an animal. Actually, this morning I was working with a person, working with the issue of lifelong frustration. Went through different layers, and finally we hit on something. Saw an image of her like falling on a bike at age 5 and hitting the xiphoid process. And I said, age 5, do you remember falling? She says, not really, but blah, blah, blah. And she says, oh, that's when my younger brother died too.
Wow.
Long story short, he had never crossed over for many years, and was in her field. Sent him to the light with the help of God, Source, Creator, and the archangels. And she felt an immediate release and was crying, she felt lighter. So
that's beautiful. Do you find we all know, hopefully I think we know that the veil's thinning during this time of year. So do you find that there tends to be more of those cases right around now?
Great question. I guess I haven't really tracked it to right now, because we're, in October coming up on that. I think probably just in general right now, year round with the ascension, I've been seeing the thinning of the veil kind of year round now.
Right.
And it just tends to come up when it comes up. It's not every session has a ghost hanging around someone, but it come up today in a session with a client.
Wow.
So you found as you've strengthened your gifts, your sights opened up more and more, and the more you practice, the more sensitive you become. Is that the way?
Yeah, and I think really even the for me, I'll speak for myself. The key is also doing my own spiritual work. You know, we're all on our own spiritual journeys, and over the last 10 plus years, I've done a lot of spiritual work. You know, clearing out our own stuff that we've had. In my case, I know for many lifetimes, finally letting go of some of that stuff that's been there. And I think as I, keep on, clearing out my life, that I'm given more gifts and, become even a stronger channel to hold the space for people to transmute the energies.
Yeah, I love that. What a powerful confirmation to keep people going, because a lot of times you just get burnt out on doing the work, but you're able to show up and testify that if you just keep going, the good stuff comes. I love that. How do you work with those moments when you get hit with self-doubt?
Oh, yeah. I usually pick up the phone and call a few trusted healers. We'll share what's going on in our businesses. If things are a little bit slower than we'd like, or, like I said, that case with the dog where everything felt good and there was quote unquote no change on the physical plane. I consult with some trusted colleagues, share that's a great source of support. And, kind of like everyone else, I check in with myself, make sure I have a clear energy field, because as we know, we're all being bombarded in many ways with fear and anxiety with what's going on in the world. Sometimes, hey, I've tapped into that mass consciousness mentality. Go, let's clear that. So it's just kind of doing the check-ins and consulting with colleagues, to more the self-doubt of just like, where you go, I know this is what I'm meant to do for this stage of my life. I love what I'm doing. And, kind of that, I think, striking the balance of trusting, surrendering to the process and trust that things are unfolding as they're meant to unfold. And for me, a big lesson when I lived in Taiwan and, for the stretch of my life, it's been being able to ask and receive help. I don't know if your viewers sometimes struggle with that, especially because I think a lot of us, we're healer types or whatever, kind of thinking, we need to figure it all out on our own. And there's, we all need help at different times and places.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. I said it's important for healers to find healers to help them, because it's, I always say it's like tickling yourself. It doesn't work. Sometimes you need that perspective of another healer. You need that
outside perspective. And I always tell people, even my clients, is that I want you to do as much as you can to help yourself. Okay. And there comes a time when we do need that outside perspective. We're too close to it. We're too invested in an outcome to be, in a total space of neutrality. And that's what I do too.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's beautiful.
I was going to ask you as well, do you find that people come to you with their pets easier than they come to you with their own stuff? Do you find people are more willing to spend their money and invest their time in their pets than they are in themselves? Are you finding that it's sort of a segue into their own healing?
Right.
Pre-COVID days, I remember that's about 2 years ago. I was at a fair in Springfield, Missouri in the US. And, I was doing mini healings with people, remote healings, people that were there physically there, and then pets. And what I was finding then was that, often the people would need some work in their pets. And if they had to choose, they would ask me to first work with their pets because they love them so much. And then also I've seen lately, like I've gotten a lot of referrals, a lot of calls for me to work with like a cat or a dog. As I said, as I'm working with the animal, I'm also doing a mini healing with them. And they said, oh, well, if you did that, could you help me with X or Y? I said, yeah, if that feels right to you. So yeah, often the pets are kind of like the doorway into helping the people receive more help, because often they're willing. Many people see their pets like their children. They're willing to put their pets first, and then they realize, I guess I could use some help too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think a lot of times people don't even want to realize that they have something they need to heal. A lot of times they just want to live in that denial state. So the pet showing up in the way that they do as kind of a prompt for them to get their own healing, you know, is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that.
It's
What
a
an
good
awesome
excuse
gift.
to get your own healing. Yeah.
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 I mean, sometimes
Mark,
you think about it, there are spirit guides. So, you know, our little spirit guides in you know, physical form. So of course they're going to nudge us to do what's best for us as well, however they can get us to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is often the thing that pushes people over the finish line to go say, I'd like some help too.
Yeah.
Can you help me? Or at least to ask and then, find the help.
Awesome.
And also seeing the animal get healed and fixed, that gives them the assurance that, oh, this stuff's real, right? Because the animal is at the point where it can't be influenced by, you know, like, it's not psychosomatic on a dog.
Right.
Just get it fixed.
Right. No, they see the difference, you know, and also even in the sessions I'm doing, Pat doing some healing, you know, everyone has his or her own experience, but often they at minimum have bodily sensations. It's just something's moving around, or my leg really hurt, but all of a sudden it got really warm and I feel energy going up and down, you know, and then, you know, sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it's a couple of days later, I go, oh yeah, you know, it went from a 3 to a 0 now. I'm in pain or whatever it was. Yeah.
Cool. And speaking of that, you said you could do, maybe give our audience now or now and on the replay, because people will be watching this on the replay, and we love you all for, and thank you again, Mark, for agreeing to do this pre-recording, because just happened to be all going to be away next Sunday. But we never like to let our viewers down, so we want to make sure we have a show for them. But could you maybe do a clearing on, as Beck said, it's Mercury retrograde and some other awful things happening this week, but not awful, just different, right?
Sure, absolutely. I'd be happy to. So I'm gonna, again, if you would like to receive the healing, just say yes.
Yes.
And I'm gonna see what people most need. Okay, what's coming through the strongest are people's work relationships. Okay, a lot of people, you know, have been working at home, and as we know, even like teachers, I think their work has at least doubled or tripled, even because the remote learning. But whatever people are doing, just coming in as work relationships. So I'm going to connect God's First Creator, ask for some help. I'm just going to do a clearing what people need. I'm going to say what's showing up in the collective. What are people seeing this, you know, live or on replay? Okay, seeing a post-traumatic energy, a psychic trauma. This is from the body code from Dr. Nelson. 2 or more negative trapped emotions come together, form a megaball. Let's see. Looking at some charts, AAB, not 1, 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. First thing is defensiveness, BBA, not 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Oh, and crying, defensiveness and crying. Okay, so this is for the collective, obviously, but it's like all this big. Let's just release that. Woo! White, blue, green, anywhere that needs extra love and attention now. Good. All right, let's see what else would like to go to strengthen people's work relationships, whatever they need in that area of their life. Okay, another energy, something post-traumatic. Okay, another psychic trauma. So looking at charts, AAB, not 1, 1, 2. Heartache, BBA, not 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Heartache and despair. It feels like a lot of people feeling the heartache from loss of job, loss of work, loss of income. Yeah. Can we clear that? Okay, I need to know something more before I can safely release that. Energies. Here, show me. Energies, please. Something post-traumatic. Let's see. Another psychic trauma. So, okay, AAB, not 1, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2, 5, 2. Creative insecurity. I'll tell you what that is in a sec. And BBA, not 1, 3, 5, 1, 2. Okay, and dread. Okay, creative insecurity is like when we're going to start something new, like a new job or move, and we say, can we really do that? Dread, yeah. Okay, may I safely release that energy? Yeah, let's just release that. Woo! White, green, yellow. Anywhere that needs extra love and attention now. Thank you. Okay, that previous one, the heartache and what God's source creator remembers what it is. Can't read my scribbles. Yeah, let's release that. Sending a purifying white, green, yellow. Anywhere that needs extra love and attention now. Thank you. All right, going back out to the issue of work relationships, whatever needs healing on that. Okay, it's taking me to the category of misalignment. Let's see. We're going there. Okay, systems. Yeah, circulatory system. Okay, it's coming through as like the circulatory system, and this is coming through like the flow of money, of commerce and everything. I feel like there's some blockages at that level, you know, in the collective. Let's see. It's going straight to the heart. Okay, so okay, can I just clear that heart energy? No, let me see what else we need to know. Energies. Allergy or intolerance. Idea allergy. So this is an idea that we can be allergic to love, money, and so I'm allergic to. So this is for the collective. I'm allergic to. Okay, it's coming through as I'm allergic to being locked down. Okay, coming through. May I safely release that? Yes. Archangels, light team, it's now coming. Let resolve and create this ideology. I'm allergic to being locked down. Resolve and create in the highest best way, and the whole spirit, the high inspiration of love, light, truth, integrity. Pink, green, yellow. Anywhere that needs extra love and attention now. Thank you. Good. All right. Let's go back. Work relationships. Anything else need? Oh, the circulatory. Can I just reset that? Yeah, let's just reset that. Again, from the like flow of money, that's what I'm seeing. Just so there's greater ease and less fear and anxiety about letting some money go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else ready to be released now from this? Visible, hidden, cloaked. Something well disguised. Let's see what it is. Okay, a misalignment. A gland. Thyroid. Okay. Okay. Physical. So like for the collective, the thyroid would be energy level. So on the scale of 0 to 100, what's the collective energy level? Like people being energized. Coming in at 9%. Can I auto raise that? Yeah. Archangel Flight Team is now coming that resolve and create any blocks to this energetic thyroid being fully activated and healed. People have optimal energy. Resolve and create in the highest best way, and the whole spirit, the high inspiration of love, light, truth, integrity. Green, pink, yellow. Anywhere that needs extra love and attention now. Thank you. Good. Let's see where the thyroid is now. The energy, 78878. Okay, it's at 98%. Can we get that any higher? No. Let's just download and activate the optimal thyroid energy for the collective now in this timeline. Any other timeline needs a touch up? Thank you. All right. Anything else? Ready to release now? Just go ahead and close. Okay, I'm getting a no. So yeah.
Wow. That was amazing. Yeah. I could feel so much shifting. Yeah.
Cool.
I definitely feel lighter. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's just what came through would be most beneficial for the group that see this either live or on replay. And
yeah, absolutely.
I definitely have been feeling allergic to being locked down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know.
I know.
For a little bit, but people are ready to, move. I know, understand.
Yeah, freedom is coming in strong. It's something we need to really anchor in.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of it, even if I can't go anywhere. It's just like I can't go now. I want to go. Yeah, it's like thinking about something you're not supposed to eat on a diet.
Yeah,
that's the way I feel about it. But Mark, I know I've seen you on your Facebook page live. Do you do that all the time? Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now? Like you still have your show and when it is? And
yeah, I have my show. It's traditionally it's been on live on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. For a long time, I've interviewed people in the holistic space for people, animals, and places. And lately I've been doing a lot of live mini healings, either on the show or I've been calling them a pop-up mini healing. Sometimes I'll feature, a modality such as the body code, I think the day you were hopped on, Rhonda, I was doing ASHWork, or the body code,
cool.
1 or 2. And yeah, so it's just kind of, the pop-ups are sometimes just spontaneous plan, sometimes a couple days in advance, sometimes a couple hours in advance, post it, and we just see who shows up and how we can support them. So people get, a sampling of the type of work I do, and they get a real healing benefit. I've had people come on with like, Carla from California had lower right back pain. She was 9 of 10. Worked with her for 10 minutes. She went down to a 0.
Wow,
that's awesome.
So that's what's possible. And
and I know my dog got better after we did that healing. I mean, he's not 100%, but he's old, so I didn't. But he has gotten better. His appetite's picked up, and he's stopped eating a lot of grass now. So that makes it better for all of us, because that's just not fun when it comes out the other end. Just saying. But
and I'll probably resume a more interviewing of guests probably in in November. I'll have some more guests on them, kind of.
And so we'll put all your
Go ahead.
We're going to put all your information in this video, so you can get a hold of Mark. He's got his phone number, he's got his website, got your email. So people who want their pets or themselves healed to get in touch with you. Anything else new coming up? Have you got courses or anything you're thinking about doing, or just?
Actually on Thursday I'll be on a telesummit. Be on Self-Care's Your Divine Uniqueness. I'll be talking about maintaining and strengthening your energy field, and called it the energetic maintenance and hygiene package for these turbulent times. So that'll be the focus. Be taking live callers, so if people are available, that information is on my website. That'll be on Thursday. And then I'll be developing more products of MP3s for happy and healthy pets. I'm working on that right now as we speak. And
that sounds intriguing. So are they like tones, or are they just like, I don't know?
Yeah, it will most likely be some very soothing music, in which I download from God Source Creator the frequencies that are needed in the moment to promote if pet has separation anxiety, to bring more peace and calm and tranquility to the animal.
Yeah, I found that the solfeggio tones really do help when there's thunderstorms going on for my dog and me.
Yeah. That's actually quite during here in the U.S. or celebrations, 4th of July, thunderstorms. Actually, that would be a good MP3. I think people would like that because again, a lot of people for their dogs have tried the thunder. If the thunder shirt works or whatever it is, great, stay there or whatever. Like I said, everything works till it doesn't work. But actually, I think that would be an interesting MP3 to do.
Yeah, I think it would be very helpful because I know my dog hides in the closet and he can't get a squished up space. Not far enough, but he does like the music. We find that the music helps.
Yeah,
it helps
absolutely.
So, is he going to come up? He said. But well, thank you, Mark. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about, or anything else? You can be fun. What's the name of your Facebook page that you
so where I do like the mini healings on my Facebook page is called People and Pets Energetics. So that's my business page. Yeah, People and Pets Energetics. You can find a lot of great information there. Of course, on my website, you can find some more goodies there too.
Cool. Now, Bex has one question for you.
I do.
The hard one.
Yep, the very hard question. All right, so if you had to choose a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
All right. I Had It My Way by Frank Sinatra.
That's awesome. I love that song. It's funny. I think one of our past guests also picked that. Jim Harold, who does a paranormal podcast. I think he also picked that. That's really funny. It's definitely people who are making their own paths are it makes sense for you. You're doing something all your own, and it's so in alignment with who you are, and it's perfect.
Yeah, it's, as people that kind of forge their own paths, like we talked about earlier, there are moments you go, am I really doing this?
Exactly.
And then you go, yeah, and I know just to keep on going. And really, I think in a lot of ways, different moments kind of forged my own path in a lot of different areas of my life. And, it definitely has its challenging moments, but also very rewarding as, at least we have this lifetime and probably more, but for this one, let's go for it.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's a great message. And so we'd like to thank you again for being on our show. And please, everyone out there, share this out. You can watch it on YouTube, on our YouTube's channel, Spirit Sessions of View of the Light. Watch this with Mark. Enjoy the clearing again as many times as you like to use it. We like, you can speed ahead and do the clearing if you want to again. And just share this out and share it with your friends and the friends who have pets. And we'll see you the next week that would be the 25th. This one's going to air on the 18th. So on the 25th, we'll announce the winner of the share out for this one and the one before. So thank you very much, Mark, again. Bex, anything else?
Thank you. No, just thank you so much for blessing us with this, with sharing your amazing gifts with us and your stories. This is absolutely reaffirming for anybody who wants to get some support for their animals and for themselves. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Again, thank you, Rhonda and Bex, for having me.
Anytime. We'd love to have you back again.
Love to. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a blessed week, everyone. Take care.